Welcome back, everybody. Right, it's Cape Rugby TV, as you know, of course, every week. And for those of you who haven't been watching the show for a while, you'll know that we've managed to do a couple of interviews with False Bay Rugby Football Club. Jonathan Avalt, of course, keeping everybody busy there. And for those of you that don't know, old Cape Rugby TV stalwart Morgan Newman has joined at False Bay, is now assistant coach there. We went out to False Bay to catch up with some of the players at training. We managed to speak to Thabo and Ngcongo, Luke Jacobs, and the man himself, Morgan Newman.
It has been a challenge in various departments, but one thing that we have looked to do is keep the CrossFit going, because we have seen the benefits in that. As players, yes, it does get a bit tough, but at the end of it, a few months down the line, or whenever we come back to like a pre-season or back on the field, you can definitely see the difference between the guys that have been consistently training and the guys that haven't been training. So yeah, it's a nice thing to have at the club. When Western Province came back and told us that rugby would be cancelled this year, I know the coaches tried to find out if we could play a few warm-up games, and it didn't quite work out. So then we were left with a situation where we had all these players that had been training for a couple of months and there was no one to play. So we took about a month to make the decision, and myself and co-club captain Henry came up with the idea of doing this internal competition. We basically ran it like a draft system, a lot of trial and error things, but I think it's come out pretty well. Guys have bought into it, guys have gone into their little teams, and yeah, there seems to be some good gears back at the Bay. We always say that there's different types of people that come down to clubs, and we always worry. Our biggest worry was that if we went quiet and we closed our doors, guys would find other things to do, and some guys would get comfortable being at home, not being at the field, and then getting them back to the field becomes a challenge. So we thought, again, like I said, we had to become very creative in our thinking, and we thought of coming up with another way of, even though it's social, it still allows the guys to come down, play, gives you that break away from whatever you do on the side. If it's work, studying, you get the opportunity to come down to the field and throw the ball around with your mates.
Yeah, I think, we pride ourselves heavily on culture in this club. So staying connected is a massive thing for us. A lot of guys get their places of work from this club. The networking skills here are amazing. The culture, the vibe, it's huge at this rugby club. So to be able to come down here and like we always say, it's not only about a rugby club. It's not only about playing rugby. There's more to this club than that. So coming down to CrossFit, coming down to training, it's actually an easy environment for us to come down to. Yeah, I mean, it's lekker for the guys to get back out here and have some fun. For us, it's like we said, it's a massive opportunity to be back on the field. 2 years without rugby, we played 1 or 2 friendlies in between the years. But for us, just to relish this opportunity to get back onto the field is huge. Once again, it brings new players in. It brings current players in. It's keeping the culture going, keeping what we as a club stand for, which is really important for us. I think exactly that. I think in terms of the TENS tournament, it brings a lot of sort of different faces, new faces, old faces, different cultures, different backgrounds, which is so important for us. As a club, we're always looking to expand. We're always looking to develop, we're always looking to grow. So this has just come at the right time for us as players. So super happy with the initiative, super happy with what the club has done. We've thought outside the box, and we're doing something really good for our club.
No, it's crazy. I actually played a game last week Thursday, and it was just weird to put the boots on. It's weird to get in the car, and it's weird to finish work and drive off and see 22 other guys and get ready for a rugby game. And that's what's lack about this tournament for the next few weeks. And I mean, you can see by the amount of people here, it's actually tough to keep a hold on the numbers here at the moment. I mean, it's crazy, but my hat goes off to our coaching staff, Jonathan van der Walt, and he's always that guy who's messaging players directly, privately, just basically telling them to be better in the best possible way. But it's just staying connected. I mean, we've all obviously had 18 months of just being disconnected from what we normally do every January to August every year. So it's been great to still stay connected. It's been great to have an avenue to, even if we're just meeting for touch rugby, even if we're just meeting for CrossFit. I wasn't at CrossFit, I can tell you that for free. But it's been nice, and that's why this tournament coming up is it's quite lacquer. We've obviously had one session already and got a good few weeks to come, so it's a lot of fun. Well, I mean, we've had an embarrassment of riches for the last few years. We've been able to operate squads from first team all the way up to the sixth team, under 20s. So to be able to you largely see yourself sort of staying to your squad throughout the normal rugby season, and this is great because I'm playing with first team members, third team members, fourth team members, sixth team members. The fifths are training for their own Rebel Cup. So obviously I play second team, so it's nice to, even under 20s are joining us, so it's been quite cool to obviously meet people that you won't necessarily spend Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday with, but we're all sort of part of the same club, which has been quite great. Also, people have just been coming out the woodwork wanting to play rugby, so that's also been quite cool to even just meet more people, and hopefully they stick around for pre-season next year.
Yeah, you know, with the year that we've had, or the couple of years that we've had, obviously just fantastic to see the boys down. You know, so many rugby players, everyone hungry to play rugby, everyone hungry to get involved in some small way. So some guys are playing, some guys are just here down to enjoy the vibe. But I think, you know, to keep the club going, we need to make sure that we see the faces, familiar faces on a Monday and a Thursday. And the club has done fantastically well to do that. I mean, to have over 100 players register for a internal 10s tournament has been fantastic, and kudos to Forceplay for really putting it together and putting together such a spectacle. I mean, the boys are excited to play. As you can see, there were 4 teams training tonight. Everybody really just excited to get down again on Thursday. Results for my team didn't go our way necessarily. 1 out of 2, which is not too bad considering, but I expect us to improve as the tournament goes along. I think that's what Forceplay has done extremely well. You know, they have taken the true essence of what it means to be a club, and that is in essence to serve the community in which it's placed. And the boys come down every Monday, Thursday. The CrossFit's still happening on a Tuesday. The boys are seeing each other, they're spending time together, and that's the most important thing. You know, your rugby is not necessarily the be-all and end-all of this club. I think the camaraderie and the boys wanting to be together is what keeps this club such a happy family. And I think, you know, we've seen it now. We've seen how much players are down here, whether you're injured or not. They come down, they enjoy the vibe. They're coming to watch a bit of 10s on a Thursday evening. And and it's just been really fantastic to all the role players that have put this together. You know, the club captain, Thabo, was one of the big role players in terms of making sure this tournament runs smoothly. And the rest comes from the players. You know, the guys have decided that we want to do this, and they're doing it extremely well. So long may it continue, and I think it may attract a lot of players from other clubs that are just, you know, have closed their doors for the year, and players are looking for a place to go and enjoy, you know, a cool drink with their friends and maybe throw the ball around. And this club has opened its doors to that, and kudos to them for doing that. Yeah, without a doubt, you know, this can only be beneficial on a number of different levels. Fitness, a big one. You know, I think this club will, without a doubt, have a head start on every other club that's closed their doors over this period of time. You know, players are staying fit. I mean, there's little internal competitions the club is running from a CrossFit point of view. Obviously, the 10s is another internal competition. So this club is in extremely good hands, and I think it's run extremely well. And it's just great to be a part of it. I think a lot of other clubs can learn from what Forceplay has done in terms of, you know, serving these players, making sure their doors are open, they have a place to come to, they have a place to call home. And I mean, it's great to see, and hopefully this 10s competition will culminate in something really exciting.
great stuff. Great to see the players active, and of course that's as we know, False Bay doesn't stop. They never stop, as in their words, they've got too much gees. But folks, yeah, great to see that the likes of False Bay are keeping their players active. We know that they've also got some creative events happening. Their women's side is doing really well, and we know that they're also busy with a tens format, an internal tens format. But really is good to see that players are on the field and enjoying themselves. Folks, that's a wrap from us this evening. We will see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.